Hi, and welcome to Senior Moments. I'm Jackie Sibley Newton, your host, and this is a broadcast service of Cleveland Community College on C19. You can see it on c19.tv or also on Spectrum Cable, and we hope that you will go to c19.tv and share the show with friends and family, anybody who can benefit from the information. My guest today is Stacy Farmer, and Stacy is I want to call you the salesperson, but you have a much more glamorous name.
The senior lifestyle counselor.
For Tarabella Shelby.
Yes.
And one of your specialties is working with the Alzheimer's Association.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your certification with that.
Well, I am a certified dementia practitioner, so I am able to offer CEUs and do training. I guess kind of like I'm Tarabella Shelby's dementia expert.
You are.
So, on site, which we also host for the Alzheimer's Association. We have a support group that we host every fourth Thursday of the month at 5:30 to 6:30.
And through working with the Alzheimer's Association, I know the experience has been vast because I get to work with you.
Yes.
So I get to be part of that. And we get a lot of information from the Alzheimer's Association that we're able to share at that support group.
Yes.
Tell me a little
yes.
bit about what the support group is for. What can people expect when they get involved?
Well, what you can expect when you get involved with our support group is, let me see, you're going to, a home is what ultimately, also it's for your caregivers. It's for the people who are taking care of the ones with Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, we don't ever want to exclude them. If you need help or assistance or anything, let us know. We do work on case-by-case basis. But it's for the caregivers. It's to offer support in offering with education, or if it's just somebody to vent to, a shoulder to lean on, because Lord, we're all struggling. And it's not only for families out in the community, but we're also asking, even our own personal care staff to come in and join this support group. And also coming up with different interventions and ways on helping to take care of people with dementia.
Yeah.
So this is a tricky disease, and not everybody is the same.
Every single case is different.
Very.
And we've had the Alzheimer's Association on the show before, and the vast different types of dementia that you can even be diagnosed with was mind-boggling.
Yes.
So
Very.
it's always going to act different. And even though you and I could have the exact same diagnosis, but have a completely different reaction, completely different experience.
Total different behaviors. You never know how somebody's going to react, or even, every family's different. So, and it's all about trying to learn the approach and what's going to be best and work for each family. And so, and that's one thing I love about having our support group, because not only working with the families that we already serve in the community, in our facility, but also getting a bond and develop a better relationship with them, so that, mom and dad's having a better quality of life.
Yeah.
So,
And that's really what it is about. It's about education for the caregiver, sharing education from the Alzheimer's Association and from the research that's being done.
Right.
And one of the things that I love about the support group is you don't talk much. You don't talk a lot. It's all about those families getting together and sharing their experiences and letting people know this is where we are in our journey, this is where we are in our journey, and kind of giving those people who have less experience with it a little bit more insight into this is what you could expect. This could potentially happen.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about the resources that come from the Alzheimer's Association and what we can do.
A lot of the resources people don't realize when we're doing the fundraising for the resources for them, it's going for also the research for, medications, a treatment for dementia, which, they just released that back in the beginning of the year. So we do have one FDA approved treatment now for actual Alzheimer's, which is a big, huge thing. And a lot of it's here is based off in North Carolina. The research and everything is here in Wilmington. So, that's a big thing for North Carolina. We're leading the way in the research.
Yeah.
Along with the resources there is a 1-800 number that you can always get their support anytime with them. And it also helps to fund those. So, if a family's at home and say it's 3 o'clock in the morning and mom and dad's not laying down, they're they're adamant about they're going to go and buy a car.
Yeah.
We're going car shopping at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You can pick that number up, and that person on the other line, you can talk to a live person, and they're going to be able to help you with that. So also with that, along with, you know, the statistics and things, and so, I mean, that's what a lot of the resources we try to implement into the support group, and that's where I try to let them know. And that's how we'll get our conversation started. I'll give them a little piece, and then it just seems like the conversation starts from there. So.
Now, at Terabella, we have assisted living and memory care.
Yes.
And not everybody who has a diagnosis of Alzheimer's or dementia is going to go right into memory care.
No.
Talk about what those levels look like and when it's time to start thinking about going into a memory care.
My first indication is going to be somebody who's going to require, let's go ahead and say, when you come into our building, you're coming to view the assisted living part. The assisted living is going to be just like living at home. You can come and go as you please. That door unlocks and locks just like it would at home. Put your mindset that except for the differences between when you say assisted living and memory care, our memory cares, they're going to be secured. So that means that only our staff have the codes to the door. Now, if there's an emergency or anything like that, we do have system in place, alarms, and the doors will spring open immediately to keep everybody safe. But no, other than that, they are secured 24 hours a day, and so somebody cannot freely walk up and let themselves outside. So that's what keeps them safe,
Right.
and that is the difference. So the difference is what would require somebody, I believe, to have to come in and go straight into a memory care unit versus the assisted living. It's going to be somebody who would walk outside and would not be able to know, you know, potential hazards or dangers. They would walk straight out in the middle of traffic. We don't want that. Or to know that even to get back inside. So if anybody who cannot make that kind of safe decision for themselves, you don't want that. You would want them in a secure unit.
Right.
But somebody who is okay, that's not going to go out the front door and everything, is going to be able to say, you know, then they may be able to start off in the
Right.
assisted living part. So.
Yeah. And on the assisted living, I know there's some pleasantly confused
Yes.
folks that may need a little help and a little direction. But
Right.
again, if they're not going to walk outside and not remember to come back or try to
Right.
get in somebody's car, then they're appropriate for assisted living and
Oh
make
yeah.
that work.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's what we do.
On the memory care side,
Mm-hmm.
there are specially trained coordinators who
Yes.
deal with.
Well, we have in Terabella, we use a program called SHINE program. And so our coordinators, they're called SHINE coordinators, in which the program is, and it lines up right with the Alzheimer's Association. It's all centered on person-centered care. And person-centered care is where you focus on the person. What's their habits? What's their routines? What's their likes? What's their dislikes? You know, and so you're able to, it's about approach and redirection and all centered on them to have the best calming experience that we can try to have. You know, every day is going to be different. No day's ever going to be the same.
Yeah.
You know, one day you go in there and you may be on the hunt for a piece of carrot cake.
Or cow.
Yeah, or the next
help
day it may
find
be
a
a
cow.
cow that we got to
Yeah.
look for. So
Yeah.
you never know, and it's just, you just have to take it moment by moment when you're dealing with memory care.
And the Alzheimer's Association has provided a lot of information. Also, our parent company has provided a lot of training for
Right.
all the staff
Yes.
to do person-centered care. Talk a little bit more about person-centered care. What is that? What is that in detail?
Person-centered care, like I said, in detail, it's focused directly on that person. The first thing we start with is we do what it's called a day in a life, and you pretty much going to write a life story on this person. You're going to tell me all of their routines, their habits, their likes, their dislikes, what's their favorite foods, what time do they get up in the morning. We want to know, you know, do they like their showers in the morning? Do they like their showers in the evening? I'm the type of person, I like to take my shower when I get up in the morning. It wakes me up. Whereas I know some people, they like to take their shower at night before they go to bed because it makes them sleepy. We need to know these things, and that's what person-centered care is about. It's centering on that person where we get that information, we get to know that person, and you try to really know who the person is, you know, besides from the diagnosis, but what their life was like and try to mirror that with them and help them to attain that, so it's a better quality of life, so that, you know, so if Mr. Floyd or wanted his, like, to wake up in the morning and have his shower and then, you know, go and have his breakfast and a cup of coffee, then by God, then we can do that for him.
Yeah, we can make
We're
that happen.
able to implement that and care plan it that way. And so overall, it helps with their behavior. It helps with, you know, just a better quality of life. Because I think sometimes we kind of have to kind of look at that quality over quantity.
Yeah.
And I think, you know.
And making it very personal for them.
Yes.
Knowing keywords is important.
Right.
You talked a lot about Meet Me Where I Am.
Yes,
So
yes.
explain Meet Me Where I Am.
Meet Me Where I Am is a book that you can get off of Amazon. It's not real expensive, it's $12, but it is an Alzheimer's care guide, and it's Meet Me Where I Am is exactly what person-centered care is all about. You're meeting that person where they're at. If, you know, if the sky is green, what's wrong with that? I mean, that's the prettiest green I've ever seen. Our thing is if it's not hurting them, it's not going to kill them, doesn't put them in any kind of immediate life safety type danger, and he's happy that that's a pretty green sky, then by God, that's going to be a pretty green sky, and we're going to smile and laugh about it, and we built that memory.
Yeah. And if it's breakfast and they just got served breakfast but forgot they ate breakfast, but they need another breakfast, then
well, by God, listen,
it's breakfast
okay, we're
time.
having breakfast
We're
again.
gonna
I
do
mean,
breakfast,
that's just the way you just
Yeah.
meet them where they're at that moment. Let's not argue about it. Let's not have a bad day. Okay. Well, you know, and even if they did just eat, you didn't, and I know some families say, well, Dad's a diabetic, he doesn't eat that. Well, you know, we can always try to keep a sugar-free treat or something around and say, okay, well, here's your breakfast.
Right.
All right, let's just roll with it and try to do the next
And I think a lot of
step.
caregivers really get bogged down in that, trying to bring that person back to their reality and forgetting that.
No, we got to enter into their reality sometimes.
Yeah.
And so, you know, let's just do it. I mean, I helped to give a shower over the weekend, and that resident flat out told me, no, I'm not taking a shower. And I said, well, we need to change your shirt. It's dirty. Okay. Next thing you know, me and him
They're
come
in the
out
shower.
of the bathroom, and he said, I look like a fresh bath air. I said, you sure do. So sometimes, you know, and that's a lot of the person-centered care, that redirection, that approach, you know, and it just may take that say, okay, he's not going to take a shower, but can we change your shirt because it's dirty? Well, I got the shirt off. You know, at that
Might as
time
well
I had
go
the
ahead and
water
clean
warming
up.
up. Feel this water. Don't that feel good? It's nice and warm, you know, and it's all about creating that environment. It was all centered around him at that time, so.
Well, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And then we'll be back to learn more about dementia and the support group here in Shelby.
For many kids, just showing up to school is a challenge. Staying through graduation is even harder. So at Communities and Schools, we do just what our name says. Our staff brings a community of resources to meet each student's needs right in their school, doing whatever it takes to keep kids focused, so they see what we see, a bright future. Join in at communitiesinschools.org.
The only prediction I'd make is I'd be pretty willing to bet I won't be doing it in 20 more years.
My question is, where's our residual checks?
144 have taken Republican ballots, and Wes and 2 others have taken Libertarian ballots.
Pravda, however, PBS, however.
Wes.
West.
Well, what-
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Probably not. I have to study for my exams next week, and my dad would kill me.
I can't make it. I've got a big game tomorrow night. I want to make sure I'm in good shape.
No, I'm good. I don't want to get in trouble. My parents would kill me.
Nah, I gotta fill out scholarship applications.
Everyone has at least one good reason to stay away from drugs and alcohol. Find your reason today and get back to enjoying life.
Hi, welcome back to Senior Moments. I'm Jackie Sibley Newton, your host, and today my guest is Stacy Farmer with Terabella, but also our area Alzheimer's and dementia specialist. So you get to help people all the time that have dementia. The support group that meets at Terabella on the last or the fourth Thursday of the month, what time is that meeting?
It's from 5:30 to 6:30. We do hours in the evening, so it seems to be really, really helpful, especially a lot of people like myself, my age and everything.
You work and you want to
yeah,
come in,
so on the way home, stop by, and it's just an hour. I usually have a snack and a drink if you need a little pick me up and everything. But just come on because we want to share our compassion and let everybody know, we want to be a resource for Cleveland County. If you have issues with dementia, Alzheimer, ultimately I think that's our goal, is to get it out there, is to share our love, our compassion for dementia, because this is a big, huge, I don't want to call it like another, pandemic or anything like that, but you know what I'm saying? But this is a huge thing that's coming through with our elderly.
I have forgotten the statistics of how many people are affected by it, but it actually is a pretty big percentage of people, even in Cleveland County.
Yeah, it's typically, 1 out of 4 people will have a diagnosis of some type of dementia right now.
At some point in their lives.
1 out of 4, yeah. So, and it can range from anything, because we're also finding out, look at your sports team players and things like that with the concussions and stuff, it makes me a little nervous sitting there thinking about my children were football players. Or you got a daughter in theater, think about it.
And that's one of the things that I learned from coming to the support group are ways to help prevent early dementia, early onset of Alzheimer's, eating healthy. We can't say it enough. Everybody needs to eat healthy.
Getting exercise.
But wearing a helmet, protect your head.
Yes.
I don't think when we were younger, my generation rode their bicycles without a helmet.
Right.
I rode a dirt bike without a helmet half the time.
We did.
We didn't know.
No.
So nobody really thinks about how important it is to protect your head because head injuries can cause dementia and Alzheimer's later in life.
Yeah, it can. Issues and things, because they're even finding out with some of the men, and I hate to sit there and think there's other, mental health issues and things that can come with it. So that is one thing. If you're having any kind of struggles or troubles, that's why I set that care group, support group up. We need to go ahead and try to get that, because there wasn't a central location for that in Cleveland County, where they can, a hub where not only we're taking care of people with dementia, so if you needed some kind of hands-on training, we may have it somewhere within our building. We're pretty lucky we get to serve 24 on one side and 16 on the other side.
Now, I want to talk about the support group and who needs to be coming to the support group. People who have a family member with a diagnosis.
Family member, it could be, or even if you work in these facilities and you're having to deal with people. You got girls that's working in these skilled nursing homes, even at Terabella, they're working, or these other assisted livings that live here. Come and learn. You need some extra training and learn, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to put the compassion back into caregiving and to help you, to give you that. Because, we've been through a lot. It is stressful. It is, but it would be so much easier if we can just kind of take a time, take a breath, take a minute, be patient, and meet them where they're at. And so I'm trying to get that started back in and give them the training and the education and help support. But sons and daughters, families, any and everybody can come to this support group. So.
And one of the things too about the support group is not only learning how to deal with that family member or that friend or whoever you may be. It may be someone who's hired to sit with someone who has dementia or Alzheimer's. But it's also just that caregivers need a break.
Yes.
They need to breathe. They need a little time away, because we see it time and time again. The caregiver gets health problems. They get worn down. And they
And it's
start
also
to
their
deteriorate.
opportunity to meet other caregivers who's facing the same issues. And it's always good to have a friend or somebody you can turn and talk to.
Somebody who's been through it or is going through it as
Yeah,
well.
it's I understand. I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And then like I said, if you reached out to one of us and come to the support group, then we may be able to help you to try to, because, they're sundowning and help with how to deal with these. And when we say behaviors, I'm not talking about a temper tantrum laying in the floor. We're talking about like sundowning and things. And that's where they tend to sleep all day long, and then they want to stay up all night. And then they may get a little bit crankier. And a lot of people don't realize that that's set up from our whole life, because when we went to school and then we had our working lives, we know that something needs to change between 3 and 5. We had some kind of change, whether it was we were getting out of school or if we were getting off work or having to run home and then take care of children of our own. So that's the reason why they tend to get a little wound up, but that's when we need to, set up a big activity and give them something to do. And
Make a
things
change in the day.
Right,
That's the
you
time of
know,
day when we
yeah.
change something. We're all going to go sit down for supper, or we're going to change our clothes, whatever it is. Make that change during that time of day, and they'll feel that need, because
Right.
our brains are funny. They
Yes.
remember routines, they remember schedules.
It's a
but they may
body
not
memory
remember
type
exactly
thing.
what it is,
Yeah.
but they know we're supposed to be doing something.
Right,
to
the
instinct.
sun's going down. It's coming to the end of there was a change. I was getting off work, or you'll hear, someone saying, I'm waiting on the school bus and things. And so it's that body memory. They have remembered, just like we kind of talk about, brain issues. People with dyslexia, they have to have that motor memory to try to remember, your right from your left. So it kind of stems in how the brain's very interesting, and I love it.
It is a very interesting organ. It is. Well, thank you so much for coming to the show. I
Well, thank you for
appreciate
having
all your
me.
knowledge and all of your expertise, and I really hope that people will come to the support group, even if they don't have anybody. And I can't imagine anybody not being touched at some point by someone with dementia in their life, because it's just so prevalent right now. So if they just want to come and get information, learn more about it, learn how to be involved, how to be supportive.
Yes.
We have the support group. We have a walk that we do every October with the
Right.
Alzheimer's Association. We have some events that are going to be happening this
Yes.
year. So anybody who has been touched by it, there's ways to get involved and help raise money for the research, for the
Right.
treatment.
Any kind of questions, or even if you just saying, I contact us saying, hey, I think Mom might be, I'm willing to listen and vent with you and say, hey, and can even tell you what to go and ask the primary care doctor. What can we do? Because some people's like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I think Mom may have something, or what to even say. If you need us, we're a resource. Reach out to us.
And
We're here
learning
for
what to
you.
talk to the doctor about is
Yes.
so important. And people get overwhelmed hearing the words, or even suspecting there might be a diagnosis.
Right.
They don't know the right things to ask.
That's right.
And that is one great thing about the support group, is they can call and get that information from you
Right,
about
yes.
who do I call, what do I ask for, where do I get the diagnosis, because
That's
a
right.
family doctor is going to need to refer you.
Yeah.
So it is good information
And what's the
to know where
difference
to start.
between, should have go to a neurologist, and sometimes you can go to a psychologist. So it's just different things.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, please contact Stacy at Terabella. She's happy to turn you on to all the resources that she has available. We're happy to help in any way possible with any questions that you have about the aging process, but specifically about dementia and Alzheimer's. We'd love for you to be part of the support group that meets the last Thursday of the month at 5:30 at Terabella Shelby. And we would love to see you be involved more in Alzheimer's research. This is a disease that's affecting so many people. Thank you so much for watching the show. We'll see you back next time on Senior Moments.